Anytime you feel the pain, hate you, refrain. Don't carry the world upon your shoulders. Wait. I just realized I set up the camera for my YouTube video, but I don't know what I was gonna do anymore. Hello, my lovelies. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Guys, it's an official video this time. So, I asked a bunch of my people on Instagram, all of my many fans that I actually definitely do have, they all gave me some really cool suggestions for some YouTube videos. And one of my besties, Tom, he suggested to me, he was like, you should do a story time because I love watching story time. So, Tom, this is for you. Welcome to my very first story time. I'm literally Gabby Hanna. Like, what the Starting off strong. Have you ever heard of mono? Yeah, it sucks. Don't get mono. I do not recommend. I had the pleasure of discovering what mono was earlier this year, but it was a roller coaster. Like, it was an absolute roller coaster. So I decided for my bestie Tom, I'm gonna give him a story of how I had mono. For those of you who don't know, mono is a sickness. It's an infection. It is a sickness that you get that is transferred through saliva, which is gross. It's so gross. Especially considering the fact that I don't share saliva with anyone except for my boyfriend, and he didn't get it. So where did I get it from? What? Who had mono and who spat on my food? I'm over it. It was like 6 months ago. 7 months ago. Holy cow! All I know is that it's a sickness or an illness that you get that is transferred through saliva, which is why it gets the reputation of being called the kissing disease, because people get it when they kiss. But literally, I only kissed one dude, and he didn't have it. Was I sleep kissing? Was I sleep kissing? Is that a thing? Reverse it. It is early January. Literally, Christmas is just come and gone. It's like, I don't know, the beginning of January. Like, it's so early on. And I was on a vacation with my family. Every Christmas, right after Christmas, we go to Blue Mountain, which is this ski town in Collingwood, Ontario. It's like up north or whatever. And I went there with my family like we do every single year. And about 3 or 4 days in, I woke up with a debilitating sore throat. It hurt so bad. It felt like I was constantly swallowing knives. Like, I just had massive, like, chef's knives in my throat. And every time I swallowed, it was bad. It was really bad. It was the worst sore throat I have ever had. Probably some of the worst pain I've been in my entire life. But I had no idea what it was, right? So I was just like, oh my gosh, my throat really hurts. And my parents were like, oh, that's not good. And I was like, yeah, I know. I was downing halls like they were freaking candy. Like, I was doing my best. Nothing was working. I wake up another day. Throat still sore as hell. And I go to the bathroom. I noticed that my eyes were like really puffy. And I was like, oh, botched Botox? I did not know what it was. I went to my mom. My mom took one look at me and she's like, oh my gosh, mono, tee-hee. And I was like, what? And it was ironic because I had literally made fun of my friend's older sister maybe 2 months before I got mono, because she got mono and I was like, I don't know, what are you kissing, girl? What are you kissing, girl? You're funny. Yeah. My mom takes one look at me and she's like, girl, you got mono. And I was like, hello, I don't have mono. I don't have mono. Literally not me. I'm still in an absurd amount of pain though. And even though I'm in denial, I'm like, there's no way that I have mono. We're going home from Collingwood. We're on our drive, we're driving, and my mom's like, I'm gonna take you to the clinic. And I was like, okay. We go, clinic's closed, not important. We come back the next day because my throat is still killing me. I don't know what's going on. And at this point, I'm like, I have to go back to my program because this was Christmas break, right? I had a program I was in. I was like, I gotta go back and I gotta be like, I'm out in the woods in the winter. Like, I got stuff to do. I can't be like feeling this all the time. Also had a trip coming up in the program to go winter camping because this program was like an adventure-based program. So we were gonna go camping in the winter, and my parents didn't really want me to die because I was sick. So they were like, we need to get you checked out. So I go to the doctor's office, and this freaking tall dude, he like, I don't even know. He looks like a cartoon. This cartoon character of a doctor walks in. Cartoon man comes, and he's like, he brings me into his little like doctor room. He sits me down, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna test you for strep throat. So he puts a little like swab in my throat, like wiggles it around. I don't even know what it did. He tested it, and I didn't have strep. So that was kind of out of the picture. I didn't have to worry about having strep throat. I still have my tonsils. We're chilling. He looks inside my throat. He sees white spots, which is a symptom of mono. And so he looks in, he sees white spots, and he goes, that's probably just a throat infection. Here's some antibiotics. Here's the thing. I was all like, perfect. That's dandy. That's wonderful. It's just a simple infection. I'll just pop these antibiotics and I'll be on my way. Like, it'll be easy peasy. But the thing if you have mono, you are not supposed to take antibiotics. Bro didn't even think mono was a possibility. So he was just like, here. Yeah. But you know what? I trust doctors. So I was like, cool, this works. I'm down. I have these antibiotics. I'm gonna be fine in a week. Winter camping is a go-go. I'm ready to go. I boogie myself back up to my program, right? I'm living my best life. I'm back in the woods. I'm like, cool, this is great. I'm feeling better. I've been taking these antibiotics. They're starting to kick in. My throat doesn't hurt quite as much. I'm like, this is good. Then one morning I wake up. We have these little morning meetings that we would go to. I go to my morning meetings. I say good morning to the director who's sitting beside me, the director of my program, and he goes, girl, why are your eyes puffy? I was like, hello? So then I look, and my eyes were swollen again. I was like, that's awkward. But it had happened a week before, so I was like, you know what? It's probably just a part of whatever infection I have. It's probably working its way out of my system. So I'm just gonna leave it. It's gonna be fine. I have my antibiotics. I'm good to go. Winter camping. Yeah. So the director is just kind of like, okay, well, keep me posted on that. I'm like, don't worry, bestie. I will. Don't worry your pretty little skull about it. The next morning rolls around. It is now Friday. I wake up. TGIF, you know, like I'm literally vibing. Love me some Fridays. Rebecca Black, sing it now. I get up and I look at myself in the mirror. Hello? I looked like a freaking tomato. And I wasn't just red, I was puffy as well. Like I looked like one of those tomatoes that you grow that is totally like warped. And you're like, this will look cute on a burger. That's what I was. I was a burger tomato. So I call my assistant director. I'm like, hey, girly poo, my face is swollen. I look like I got stung by bees. And a woman goes, oh, well, just rest this morning and then we'll check up on you later. I was like, okay. So I'm resting. I'm sleeping my little self. I'm having a good time. I'm not doing any work. I'm like, you know what? Vacation. I'm loving this. I start feeling really hot. Like my body just feels steamy. I don't really notice anything. I just know that I feel warm. And then I go to like scratch my arm. There's spots everywhere. So then I call Miss Director Girly again and I'm like, hey, Pookie Poo, I'm covered in spots. And she goes, oh, let me see. So I walk myself over to the little office and she takes one look at me. She's like, let's send you to the ER because anaphylaxis. Okay, I get driven to the hospital. I'm there alone. I'm all sad. I'm like, this is lonely. I'm sitting in there. I feel fine. Like I don't feel sick. I just feel weird. Like I feel fuzzy. I'm warm. I'm hot. I'm covered in spots and my face is puffy. I'm like, this is abnormal.
This is not hot girl behavior.
The doctor takes me in and he looks at me and he goes, that's not good. You don't seem like you're choking or anything. Like you can still breathe, so you're probably fine. Stop taking the antibiotics you're on. You're probably having an allergic reaction to them, but literally don't worry about it. Give it 6 hours. You'll be fine. You'll start to feel better right as you leave. I was like, cool. I throw out my antibiotics, put them in the trash. Don't need them anymore. Canceled. I'm back at camp and we have this little afternoon meeting that we do. I'm sitting in the afternoon meeting and I am just declining. It is like a steep cliff and I am going down on roller skates. Like it was not good. I felt so sick. It wasn't a sick where it's like, ugh, ew. It was a sick where it was just like, oh my gosh, I'm actually kind of like, I might be dying. Like this might be the end for me. This might be it. Like literally tell my family I love them because I'm not coming back. Like, sorry, it's over. So I didn't know what was happening. It was the middle of winter, right? Like I had said. I just walked over to the fireplace because I was freezing. Like I know I said that I was hot. I felt, you know that feeling when you're like, you're hot, but also you're freezing. Like I was cold. I was really cold. I was warm, but I was really cold. So I kind of like crawl over to the fireplace that's in the living room that we had. And I flop over. I'm a freaking statue at that point. I'm not passed out. I'm still very awake and aware of my surroundings, but I cannot move. And as this is happening, my spots are getting bigger, they're getting worse, and they're starting to be purple. Like my face was turning purple, which is really not a good sign. Like that's really a red flag or a purple flag, but it was not good. So anyway, I'm like deceased on the floor. I'm literally like lying there as I'm listening to people scream at each other. There was beef. But yeah, I'm lying on the ground. People are howling. I'm like, this is not good. I literally wanted to get up and leave because I wanted to be respectful of the people that were beefing, but I couldn't because I was stuck. My boyfriend comes in because he's in the same program. He's like, girl, that's not good. So he's putting blankets on me. I'm in front of a fireplace and I have a blanket on me. And then boyfriend comes in, he puts another blanket on me. I'm still cold. 4 blankets later and like 30 minutes have passed and I'm still not doing good. And I had already had to go home that weekend for a family event. So my boyfriend was gonna drive me home because he had a car. Yeah. So he had a car, so he was gonna drive me home. I literally could not get in the car by myself. Like, this is how sick I was. I could not move. So bro had to like lift me up, take me to his car, put me in his passenger seat, buckle me in, and then we left. It was bad. This was the most sick I have ever felt. It was rough. And at this point, I was literally a freaking eggplant. Like, I had turned purple. I was not doing well. This is a picture of what I was looking like at that point. Like, splotchy as heck. We pull in at like midnight. I walk in the door, my parents laughing. They think it's the funniest thing they've seen, me purple as a grape. Like literally they thought it was hilarious. I was laughing too because I looked like a hard-boiled egg gone wrong. Like, you know when you hard-boil an egg but it cracks in the pot while you're boiling it and it's like splotchy and crooked? That's what I looked like. Like you can't tell me that I'm wrong. I come home, my mom makes me an oatmeal bath. I bathe in the oatmeal bath. I don't rinse the oatmeal off. And I go to bed. Like, that's how gross I felt. I felt so disgusting that I was willing to sleep in oatmeal. At this point, I'm still firmly a believer of the fact that it was just my antibiotics. I had an allergic reaction. It's gonna go away in 6 hours, which is what the doctor said. 6 hours later, I'm more purple than when I started. So finally, we decided to go to the hospital. We go to the hospital because at that point, my mom was like, maybe you have some like skin disease and you're gonna die. And I was like, oh shoot. My mom drives me to the hospital. I'm literally, no. I lied. We go back to the clinic. I forgot about this part. We went back to the clinic because the hospital was gonna be a zoo. I wasn't gonna get into the hospital for at least like 2, 3, 4 hours. And I was so uncomfortable that my mom was like, you probably don't wanna wait for that long. So we go to a walk-in clinic. They're a little less busy. I wait for just a teeny tiny bit. Then I go back in. Same cartoon man walks in. It's the same guy. He looks at me and he goes, I've never seen this before. Yeah, this is a real medical mystery. It's a real medical marvel. You should go to the hospital. You may be dying. The same doctor that told me that I was okay and just needed antibiotics was now like, oh shoot, you actually might be dying. Go to the hospital. Hello? So that is when I started crying in the car because I was like, oh shoot, I'm dying. I'm literally gonna die. Like literally, I'm not coming back from this. So we pull up to the hospital, right? And as expected, we're waiting for like 3, 4 hours, which is actually pretty good. Like I thought I was gonna be waiting for like 6, 7. I got in at 3. Literally just tell me that you love me, healthcare system. I'm like, what? They take me in and we wait in that little like room. Like I'm sitting on one of those beds and I'm literally like, I'm dying. The doctor walks in. The hospital doctor. This guy went to med school. This guy's got a PhD. He looks at me. He takes one look at me. He was like, you have a sore throat? And I was like, And he was like, have you been on antibiotics? And I was like, And he's like, you have mono. You're not supposed to do that. My mother, my real estate mother, told me I had mono at the beginning. And then I went to a doctor and the doctor was like, no. And then I went to another doctor and the doctor was like, no. And then I went to the doctor again and he was like, you're dying. And I was like, oh no. And then the third final doctor was like, oh, actually it's just mono. You're literally fine. Calm down. Like go drink a smoothie. You're going to be fine in a few days. Just stop taking your antibiotics. I was an egg for nothing. Think about mono. Here's the fun thing about mono is that it takes you out for literal weeks. Like the sore throat goes away. You don't feel as sick anymore, but you are so exhausted you can't do anything. So girl, I did not go winter camping. I was not out there. I literally would have frozen to death and died. So I didn't go winter camping. Sorry guys. My bad. Literally my bad for kissing people in my sleep. I never fully recovered from the exhaustion. I'm only starting to fully recover from the exhaustion like now, maybe a month ago. So, moral of the story is, if you think you have mono, you probably just have mono. Don't go get antibiotics. Just say your prayers. Say your prayers. The reason why I'm choosing to tell this story is the fact that I knew what I had at the beginning. Like I literally could have avoided all of that if I had just listened to my mother. If I had just been like, yo mama, you right. You right, mama. I probably just have mono.
I just gotta stop kissing people in my sleep, I guess. Like,
a disclaimer that I would like to say is that I do believe in medical care. I do believe that doctors are very qualified. I just don't know what was happening here. Cartoon Man was doing his best, but I still resent him slightly. Like, I'm not watching that cartoon again. Literally turn the TV off. Like, I'm sorry, but whatever. Yeah, so. Don't get mono. Tom, I hope you enjoyed this story time. The story time's for you, buddy. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, don't get mono. I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. You kind of have to because you watch me on purpose. I know, that's so rough for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Mwah.